Hello there. So a couple of videos ago I compared a Kobe alternative Lego set with genuine Lego, and in this video we're going to do the same thing with a Kre-O set. While we all like the genuine Lego article, they can be a little bit expensive. So people do tend to look for alternative Lego products, or put another way, products that are compatible with Lego. There are a whole range of counterfeit products that basically just rip off existing Lego designs and try and sell them at a cheaper price because they've just nicked everything. We're not talking about those in this video. We are talking about genuine alternatives, so alternatives that are properly licensed, that have nothing to do with Lego, but they are perfectly legally allowed to make their products. And one such company is Kre-O. So this is a Kre-O Star Trek set, and already we have seen the first difference between this and genuine Lego. Lego don't make any Star Trek sets. Yes, Kre-O has bought the license to be able to make, admittedly, the Star Trek reboot sets, but yeah. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to compare it in terms of quality, price, instructions. We'll take a look at the minifigures that aren't called minifigures. If you want the too long didn't watch version of this video, yeah, I personally, despite what I may have said in the past, don't actually think that Kre-O is better than Lego. I don't even think it is approaching anywhere near as good as Lego. It has got some good things about it, which you'll hear about in the video, but yeah, that's kind of my summary. This set here comes in really quite a nice box, and quite unusually for a set like this. It's actually a sort of flip open box. Now, I actually bought this brand new, even though this was released in 2013. I bought it at a toy fair, new and sealed. In fact, they taped it all up and now it's got hair and dust attached to it. It's made it all sticky. Nice. I think the recommended retail price was about £15, but you can still get this, and you can get it for about £8 if you take a look on eBay or Amazon. I'll leave a link to it down below, some affiliate links. Good quality, sturdy box. Don't want to dwell too much on that. Interesting thing I do want to dwell on though is that there are 65 bricks in this set. That doesn't seem like very many. And on the back of this, and this is really important, it turns out that Kre-O is actually owned by Oxford, which is another alternative Lego brand, and I built an Oxford Titanic in the past, which was a really good set. So I was kind of expecting quite good things from this. And further to that, this Kre-O company seems to be also owned by Hasbro, which is obviously a massive toy manufacturer. So there really is no excuse for this not to be a really good set. There are two minifigure-y things. They're not minifigures, they're actually called Crayons. At least they've got their own kind of unique name for it, quite like that. And there's this thing called light tech. So apparently something in this lights up. One of the first disappointing things in this is that the model uses stickers, it doesn't use printed bricks, and what every child loves more than the actual brick building experience is a great big wad of terms and conditions and warranties and all that. Oh, it's just great, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, throw the set away and just read those. Looking at the instructions that come with the set, come in a nice little booklet like this. Feels a little bit flimsy, a little bit like a very cheap magazine. And if we open it up, okay, the instructions are easy to follow, very similar to Lego instructions in that they show you the parts you need for each step and where to put them, and they have nicely placed arrows to show you how to line things up. I did find the instructions very easy to follow, but they don't smell great. Now, it could be because this set is 8 years old. In fact, that's probably exactly why, isn't it? But they just smell a little bit musty. But more worryingly than that, I think the print quality of the instructions, it's not very good. It's just not very high resolution or particularly clear, and there's quite a few printing artifacts on there, sort of lines and things. Incidentally, on the back of the instructions, it shows you some other sets, and I have built that set. It's not worth it because 90% of that model is kind of pre-built big parts that you then stick smaller bricks to. So the set contained a few bags of bricks, and possibly more bags than I expected, given that, yes, this only contains something like 65 bricks. And really, that is not a lot of bricks. I would not pay £15 for a set like this. I put it together in like 20 minutes, didn't take long at all. The most time-consuming thing with the set is putting the stickers on the set. So, you know, making sure you line them up. Thankfully, the stickers are quite forgiving. If they look like they're going to go slightly at an angle, you can kind of take them off again and put them back on again. They're not going to tear or stick too much. And when they do stick, they seem to stick properly. So as stickers go, they're not terrible. And while I was building it, I found that the brick quality was, well, actually not that good. The bricks themselves don't have Kre-O or anything printed on the stud, so they look like just sort of generic, cheap, old imitation Lego bricks. Some of the bricks have a kind of finishing stud on them that's really obvious, which again just makes them look really cheap. They're incredibly glossy and sort of cheap feeling. Now, it was easy enough to follow the instructions, and I built the set, and here it is. And this is really the major disappointment of this review. I think this is absolutely unforgivably awful. Look how simple it is. Now, it's not surprising it's that simple, given that it only contains 65 parts. Let's get on to this thing about the light brick. There are some positives in this review later on, I promise. It's not all going to be negative. Now, the light brick is sort of here. There's a little LED there that's supposed to light up. You take a little tab out of this big square brick here, which is one part with the, I guess that's the light brick, to activate the batteries. And then when you move this slider here, you can see that transportery thing in the middle rotates, and then the light on the top is supposed to flash. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, admittedly this set is 8 years old, so these batteries have kind of gone bad, but it's a little bit surprising given that there was a tab in there to stop the battery from activating. I wouldn't waste putting a battery in this, and I've got a drawer full of unused batteries. Well, of course I have. I'm that sort of person, aren't I? But yeah, what would be the point? It's just I just think that's really naff. I guess it's kind of supposed to illuminate this a bit and make it look like a transporter. Yeah, I just don't understand the light brick, and I don't think it adds anything to the play here. I would have rather have had more bricks to create a model that actually looks like something, rather than something that someone's designed in a couple of minutes. In fact, is it falling apart? It's actually really yeah, that's not good, is it? Really unforgivable, given that Hasbro is behind this. Massive toy company, and to me it feels a little bit like their main concern has been getting the Star Trek licensing, and the kind of quality of the set hasn't really followed through. But it's not all bad news. Kre-O comes with their own sort of minifigure things called Crayons. Here they are. They're actually really surprisingly good. Okay, they're shiny, again, very shiny, but they're quite detailed. Good faces, good articulation. The legs actually move in ways that genuine Lego sets don't, so you can pose them in some very interesting positions, which is good. And obviously you're not going to get Star Trek minifigures from Lego, so it's unique in that respect. It's a shame that the Klingons are the kind of new style Klingons, which aren't, as any proper Star Trek fan will tell you, they're not proper Klingons. But I like that he's got is it a Bat'leth or whatever you pronounce it? He's got one of those, which is pretty cool. The clutch power is not the same as genuine Lego. It's weaker because, I mean, these are just falling apart, sort of holding them. I think these are the best part about the set, and possibly the only reason that I would buy the set if I wanted to collect these Crayons, because obviously they're Lego compatible, so you could put them in your own Lego build. And I might pay £5 for a couple of Crayons. I certainly wouldn't pay £15 for that set. So in terms of actually using these in the model, if it doesn't fall apart while I pick it up, we assume that, I think it's Scotty, although the lightness is difficult to identify. We put Scotty on this side of the transporter and the Klingon on the other side. The idea is that we activate the transporter and the model falls apart. You activate the transporter and the the Klingons there because you've activated the transporter. But yeah, and he's on the other side here in the real world with the kind of desert or whatever it is on these stickers. But Scotty's still on the other side. Maybe you're supposed to stick him in the middle and then activate the transporter. Let's try that. No. This is appalling, actually, to be honest. Only worth it for the crayons. The model's falling apart as I'm holding it. There aren't enough bricks. It was too expensive at launch, assuming it was 15 quid. Although I think really, as each minute is ticking by, I'm beginning to wonder whether £5 was too much for this, which is a real shame because I would like some proper Star Trek Lego. Anyway, check out my review about the Kobe set down below, my comparison between Kobe and Lego. I think we can safely conclude that Kre-O are not going to give Lego a run for their money, and Lego won't be quaking in their boots. Anyway, thank you to my loyal Patreons who are scrolling down the screen now. George Foot, Magnanimous Meg and HB, thank you very much. You're very generous Patreons. Do subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I shall see you next time for another one.